Hey guys, what's up and welcome to the Taurus reading. So first off, I don't know why, but some of you guys could have Aquarius heavy in your chart. And with that being said, I will start pulling cards. Everything's been pre-shuffled, like well shuffled. It's just a little out on the table, so you'll just see me shuffling like this here. Okay, Taurus. Okay, ooh, if it comes next. Oh, if it comes next, I don't even, oh, Taurus, you gave your heart to somebody and something happened. I don't know if you feel like you have lost someone. I wonder if this is where it was like you gave in a loving energy and then like you lost them, like something happened, and maybe something with like a heart condition, or maybe something with a lot of heat. I don't really understand that. Passion, I don't know. It just feels like it could be where, Taurus, you gave your heart to somebody and they like broke it and you gave them like all of you, or you were helping someone and like you lost them, or it was like maybe someone in your family. So anyways, there's something that seems, this is recent past stuff, so this is maybe still in your energy if this is like past, but it just looks like that's kind of the energy that you're coming from, is that you had to just kind of rebuild on your own after having something with someone, and you know, everything seemed good until it didn't. And then like no justice here in this situation. And then we have the Tower, lots of changes. So it feels like there wasn't justice. Whatever you really wanted to happen there, it just didn't come through. And then there's massive changes that follow this. You have 2 Scorpio cards here, I'm noticing. And it just seems like this is something that you can feel in your whole body. So either they were hurting like that, or you are hurting like that after the loss. It seems like something that was like spreading, or like affecting like physically someone's body. Okay. What are these changes? And it says no justice. I wonder, you know what? I'm not going to decide to bring that into this space, because it doesn't seem like it doesn't seem like a lack of justice. It seems like whatever happens next, there will be justice. Like the Fool. Okay. It does seem like there's changes and then a new start. And I think oftentimes that new start is the justice. So this could be a relationship where they took everything from you. It just went so south. You ended up really liking who you became after that happened. It woke you up to a lot of things and to a lot of changes that were positive for you. Okay, what's this new start here? You got the Fool, the Tower, and then straight to the Fool. So this could be a season for you, Taurus, and then the Moon. Major Arcana just back to back. The Tower again here. Okay, Taurus, I think that you guys are kind of going through it right now, or not right now, but the season, at least in the past like maybe 4 months or so, has felt like there's a lot of things turning in the soil, and it could feel rough and it could not feel great when you're going through those changes, but it's almost like something about your energy is showing that you're ready for it. but it does seem like big, major life changes. There's a lot of your emotions that are coming to the surface and that you're actually able to see now, and you're actually able to see the roots of where they come from. There's a lot of changes that I think that you're trying to make in regards to what happens when something feels like it's decaying, or it's dying, or it's not maintaining. It's almost like there's something that you do differently now, instead of stay in that energy, where you start looking, you're able to look at it better, and you're able to piece through it and kind of clean it up. Maybe you're decluttering a lot, or you're getting rid of things, or you are simplifying, or you are pulling back on adding new things, like kind of willy-nilly. The Fool here is like, there's a person on a unicycle on a tightrope. Everything's in motion too, and it feels a little circusy. So whatever is new for you, you're still feeling either unsure in it, or you're feeling like you don't have your sea legs in it, or you don't feel like you have control of the reins in it. And if this is like day 3 of starting something, or month 3, that's how it starts. I just feel the need to say that. This is where you learn about what's not smooth, like then you piece it together as you go. What do I want to say here? You got to give yourself grace. You got to give yourself grace for how you're going through new things, for how you're learning them. I kind of want to be a little nosy. The Devil, you've pulled only majors. Taurus, this only happens when you are in significant, like pivotal life moments, pivotal years where your whole life changes. I'm also noticing this red balloon. I kind of want to read the Fool and see if there's something symbolic about that, because everything is like in motion and gravitationally held somewhere, but the balloon is kind of this like thing that's floating up. So let's look at that. Nino's use of the circus and its tightrope as a metaphor for life and the Fool's journey is an inspired choice. Whether on the high wire or throughout life, it is less the point of origin or departure that the path itself is all important. The Fool, associated by the highly influential Hermetic order of the Golden Dawn with elemental air, effortlessly and innocently maneuvers up in the air. Across a circus tight wire, she pursues her path, oblivious to practical concerns, with carefree trust and no fear of danger, evidenced by her disregard for the umbrella traditionally used to help maintain balance. Freedom of action and limitless choices are suggested by ladders, balloons, and swings representing multi-directional agents of motion. Divinatory meanings: a new beginning, innocence and harmony, a joyful life. Alternatively, a seemingly risky, irrational, or impractical undertaking. So maybe the thing that you're involved in right now, you still have questions. You still don't know where it's going to go. And then we do have the Devil here. So I wonder if there are certain things happening within it that are, it's almost like where you'd like to bring them up, you'd like to talk about it, you'd like to change some things, you'd like to kind of state your needs, or and maybe it's difficult to do that. The devil and the tower have very similar energy, but the devil actually seems more organized. So I kind of read that as the tower being this thing where you're trying to, you know, you're actively engaged in the changes and you're trying so hard to do that. But there is this like deeper ingrained energy, maybe in a situation, or maybe it's just like conditioning, or it's habitual, right? It's so habitual, it almost seems smooth flowing. I wonder what it is. I'm going to also read the devil and see what's going on here. Devil can be addictions. It can be feeling bound to something. Maybe it has something to do with feeling bound to the previous situation that happened, where that is not changing right now. It's like you found a comfort level in that, and then you work so hard at these other things to change them. So maybe something's kind of like bringing that to your attention right now, where, you know, you just have other options regarding your past love life. And maybe those things are affecting you now in some way. And I think it's just trying to remind you, you have options. If there's a practical way to do something in that, that's okay. If there's like, go ahead and try that. If there's something that would make it, I guess, like safer or less, feel like it's less of a throw everything up in the air and just try to live with it. It's just saying there's things that you can change. And if you've been having the inclination to change things within them, I think this is kind of the go ahead to say, try implementing some of those changes, try asking for them, try doing those things. If that's something that you can do, like if they're living, if they will work with you. The other changes that could happen are like, maybe you feel like you want to go to therapy because you're grieving someone. Maybe you feel like, you know, you're not doing well with something right now, and there's a practical way to support yourself through that. Or like maybe that's eating consistently. Maybe there's something else happening that's kind of fallen to the wayside. And so it's just kind of saying like, lean into the practical right now. Every urge that you have to lean into the practical that makes things make more sense for you, try that. And then all of the other things that you are working hard on that seem like they don't have guarantees, it's just you don't know the future, and you don't necessarily need to, because how you enter that space matters a lot more than what you think of it now. For new things, you know, maybe it's just kind of saying, go ahead and like make the changes, like don't leave yourself behind. Make some of those changes now regarding past things, and then see how you feel moving forward with everything else. We have reached the final group of 7 major arcana members, and here you have, with justice and reverse, here you have the 5. You have all 5 major arcana right now. That's like, I don't know if you guys know tarot enough to know that's quite rare that would happen. And major arcana just is about big life changes, so there's just a lot of stuff going on right now. And you probably feel it, you know, and you need to give yourself grace. That's probably the most important part of all of that. We have reached the final group of 7 major arcana members as we transition to the spiritual plane. The devil deals with materialism and sensuality, the final remaining and most challenging aspects of ego-driven consciousness that one must come to terms with on the path towards the pure spirit. Buddhism refers to the attachment to the material as grasping, and the artist has referenced this concept via an unbridled and perhaps rather diabolic central figure. Can you see that? Whose claw-like appendages grab at everything within reach on the seductively colorful and highly material plane. Divinatory meanings: a trap or burden that may be self-inflicted, delusion or deception, obsessive attachment, emotional enmeshment, temptation or unhealthy desires. And then the star, healing. And you get healing after going through the tower, the massive changes, the big disruptions, and you got strength. Taurus, you're going to be just fine. I mean, I hope you already knew that. I hope that I hope that you already knew that. If you didn't, maybe this is just the reminder. I think that what all this is turning into is you're going through it because you're growing through it. It's not going through it in vain. It's not going through it to point out all your weaknesses and your flaws. It's not to self-sabotage and feel worse off and whatever. You're just going through things where the things that kind of have grabbed hold of you for whatever reason. It seems like you've been through a lot in the past. That those are the things that you're trying to I guess just heal, you know, and kind of come to terms with and just see it as a loss you experienced in your life. And maybe what happened with that loss is like maybe you ate less. Maybe you didn't take care of your body afterwards. Maybe there were certain things that weren't possible at the time, you know, just given whatever state you were in. And now it's trying to say, you're getting back to this place where you're sorting through all of it enough to be like, I can see it clearly for what it was. It hurts, but it doesn't have to hurt me in other areas of my life. It can just hurt, just that thing. And you're really learning to like scale back and not make it hurt your future things, you know? So I am going to pull one of these oracles. I also want to say, like, take your time. Whoa, we just had that, the corn. So you guys are a little bit goofy and out there too. Okay. For some of you, it seems like somehow religion kind of is like, has hurt you before. I don't know why that message is coming through, but it kind of looks like a version of religion that was put on you was hurtful, and that you're like curious about things, and something is either changing about that, or you're starting to separate that too. Like, it's almost like you're starting to find your own meaning within it. And maybe this is on a larger scale, is that you're just learning to find your own meaning in life and go with that. And like, you're coming to these realizations that what the energy that things are giving you, like, you have a choice in how they go. You have a choice in how you interact with them and how you participate with them. you have a lot more say than I think that you realize. And especially when it comes to things that are beneficial for you, that actually do help you. I also think that you're kind of like, this is kind of a weird message, but I do feel like you're kind of laughing at the things that you're noticing about yourself. Like, why do I do that? I wonder if there's a certain comfort level that you have with experiencing all these things, and it's like you're finding a way to like lovingly detach from working so hard at yourself and from going through pretty intense things. I think that you have there's another side of you that kind of provides some relief from that. And doesn't take it so seriously, which I think is actually working in your favor right now. And then we have the Andean cross. Wait. Okay. The Andean cross represents the cosmology of the shaman. It depicts the 4 cardinal directions, the upper and lower worlds, and the steps to reach these realms. The hole in the center is a gateway to interdimensional travel, the proverbial eye of the needle we can all go through to experience higher states of awareness and wisdom and to break free of linear time. The Andean cross announces the start to a great journey. It's time to raise your gaze from the mundane day-to-day to that which, until now, has seemed beyond your grasp. Allow new wisdom to guide you and stop trying to make sense of it all before you respond with a resounding yes. I think that's kind of the energy that you're already in. If not, I see you getting there soon and quite quickly. The time has passed and the window of opportunity is closed. Now is not the moment to take the leap that you have been over preparing for. It is best to wait until conditions in heaven line up again to offer you a more propitious? That can't be right. Propitious. Propitious moment. Any bold action you take now will require tremendous effort on your part. Just as important as knowing when to act is knowing when to return to your inner stillness and wait for more favorable times. So it's kind of like, I wonder if there's a reason why you cannot do something about the past. You have all these ideas about it. You want to change some things in it, but for whatever reason you feel like it can't. Or if you feel good about those changes, go ahead and implement them. And the thing that you are waiting on is the other changes in the new things in your life. That, like, instead of going ahead and just trying to tweak those till they feel right, taking care of the other thing that just needs to get taken care of, the more practical thing. That's just going to be up to you to decide what feels better for you to do. I think also one thing you're learning through these decisions and this process is actually that sometimes you do feel like your window of opportunity has closed, and it hasn't. Because the way that I read this card is in the South position. The card of the South represents that which you need to let go of, what needs to be shed. It is an old wound, and you no longer need to define yourself by it. And I think that, like, it's good to try to, it's good to try to, like, move forward kind of not jaded by the past, and that can be quite difficult. But I think also something that this tells you, this card talks about, is feeling like the window of opportunity is closed. So it's kind of like, the way I'm reading it is, I think that with part of it is trying to say, go forward in yes energy, and don't worry about, and the other part of it is trying to say, don't worry about the past, but maybe you're worried about the past stuff and you don't quite feel confident going forward with the other stuff in yes energy. So maybe you feel stuck in that way. And I think it's trying to say, sometimes, Taurus, to get yourself unstuck, you just have to make your own rules. You have to do what's best for you. And I think for some of you, this is going to be that dealing with the past stuff in your own way, or maybe with the ideas that you've been having, to just make it a little smoother, are actually kind of your unstuck. It's what gets you unstuck to be able to move forward in yes energy with something else. Because I think there's an energy transfer there where you feel out of control with something from your past, and you're supposed to release control in your future, but that's hard to do if the messaging you're getting is that you have no control over your life whatsoever. You know, it's kind of that moment in like Legally Blonde where she's like, I'm taking the damn dog. And, you know, I think that, yeah, I think you would know best. I guess we can kind of look at, enjoy the journey, stay present and flexible. Many changes are going on for you and around you. These changes are not only good, but necessary. Bring your awareness into the now rather than focusing on the past or the future. Taurus, I will encourage you right now to listen to your gut and what it's telling you, because I'm kind of like coming in to say something just from who I am and my own beliefs. So take what resonates and just leave the rest. But I really believe that what this reading is trying to say is that when you give yourself the grace to rendition things about the past because they are not really working for you, or because you think they could operate smoother, you actually feel freed up to help the people in your future. Like there's a weight lifted, and there's somehow more energy that you can spend towards what you really want to go towards. But I think that you have to give yourself the credit of being like, no, you do know what you're asking for isn't obscene or too much, and that it's rational, and it's just okay to ask for that. And I think that getting that need validated and maybe even met, if that's a possibility, I do think it brings you into a space where you're more willing to try these other things and do it all, as it's a balancing act, right? As you're balancing it all, and it doesn't just have to be straight up like feeling stuck. So that's what I'm seeing for you, Taurus. Thank you for letting me read your cards, and I will see you in another video. Bye.